All right, hi you guys. I feel like you're not gonna let anyone interfere with your journey, your peace, your joy, who you are. All right, let's go ahead and put some Alrighty. Oh, this is a beautiful flute. Alrighty. What is the message here for the collective? Place the energy within and around. This is a time where everything is working out for you. This is a time where you're choosing you and where you're trusting yourself. This is a time where you don't let anyone interfere with your intuition like you did before in the past. You're taking a leap forward. And I feel like for those of you who resonate with this message, you're making the right choice because you're trusting in yourself. You're being encouraged to remember the good times, especially for those of you who may be in the energy of loss and sadness and disappointment, who may have went through some type of abuse. Just know that you've passed the test from the universe. Sexual harassment is coming out a lot. I feel like y'all didn't deserve a lot of things that you've experienced. Ooh. Ow. Ooh, you okay? I'm seeing movement, speed, and progress. Seize the moment and let yourself be loved fully. Slow and steady wins the race. But I feel like if you're responding in a way that's, maybe things are just going by quickly. I'm also seeing someone is coming towards you. All right. We got be in your masculine energy. An astrologist, numerologist, rapper, backpacker, or temps. A book pool, etc. keeper could be significant. Nepotism can be significant. All right, what else? These are random messages or confirmations. Today is May 10th, 3:09 p.m. Central Standard Time. Private phone calls. Body pain, twitching, bumps and bruises, marks or scars, missing or moved items are also significant. We got practice makes perfect. Karmic debt. You're paying off karmic debt for those of you who resonate with this message, because it may not be for everyone. You could be a person that's experiencing twitching, body pain, bumps and bruises, marks or scars, experiencing missing or moved items, okay? Someone is coming towards you, and confirmation that there are private phone calls that are going on. We also have, you are a star, act like it. And as we said earlier, you passed the test from the universe. On the back, view this as a blessing. Anything that's negative is false. Scorpio Pisces energy could be significant. The water could be significant. On the back of the deck, needs tending. This is a card of nourish, dating, respond. It says pay more attention to your love life to get results. Maybe there's something that needs tending to, maybe individually, or maybe it's time for you to reflect on your love life. Are you connecting with people who are negative influences or impacts within your life? Okay, we got unlock happiness, which ties to chance, free, and exposed. It says be vulnerable and open yourself to real love. We also have stay strong. Talks about courage, loyalty, and truth. It says fight for love. Throat chakra is very significant. It says fight for love, but choose your battles wisely. Are you fighting for a person that's not good for you? Are you staying in a connection that's not good for you? Are you loving people who can't love you? We give ourselves karma. So be mindful. If you have karmic debt to pay off because you're sleeping around, getting pregnant by people who you don't need to get pregnant by, marrying people who are just going to end up breaking your heart, it's like you got to really pay attention to your love life, whether it's platonic connections, family, friends, whether it's romance, lovers, or whether it's career-wise, networking. Every opportunity is not your opportunity. Leave it for somebody else. Everybody who come towards you wanting to be in a connection with you, it's okay to reject. Trust your intuition. Do not let anyone interfere with your life's path. Because although everyone believes in fate and destiny, you are in the driver's seat of your own life. Your choices create your reality. Your beliefs create your reality. The country Russia could be significant. Thank you so much, Coffee Girl, for the gifts. Somebody's trauma could be betrayal. And someone's faith could be prophet-led. This can also be confirming past life energy, but it also can resonate in the present moment. If you guys are wanting to get on the list for mentorships, questions, readings, you can always get on the list. If you click the link in my bio, you'll see my payment options, website. You don't book on my website. You just go there to get information or to leave a review. What is the message here? Yeah. See, a secret is being exposed that a lot of people, you were just convenient for a lot of people. You're welcome, honey. See, this was not a spiritual union. This was not good fortune. This was you putting hope and faith in things that weren't going to bring you happiness. But the universe is no longer keeping you in the dark. Things are getting exposed. I feel like some of y'all had to bump your head until you really got it together. Some of you guys had to practice certain things in order to become an expert. Just because someone is coming towards you does not mean let them in your life. The industry could be very significant in your past life and in your present life. These are past life oracles, so I'm not going to keep on saying that it's past life because I'm using them in the present tense. But being in the industry as a child can even be significant. It says local artisan, artisan, if I'm not pronouncing it correctly. We got Mortimer coming out. Ships could be very significant. Egypt, as we said earlier, Russia. All right, this is, some of you guys are an explorer. You most definitely could have been in your past life as well. This is the ritual sacrifice energy, which ties to, it's pointing towards cannibal. All right. Crazy thing is, it could still resonate in the present life. Maybe even stuff that you don't know. You know how you think you know what you're eating, but in reality, turns out that's not really a cow, or that's not really this. With some of y'all, this can be quite literal. Cannibalism is very significant, but this can also be past life energy, or maybe in the present life when it comes to ritual sacrifices. Something about cannibal is here. Take the messages how they resonate. Someone's lesson could have been forgiveness. The semicolon is very significant for this collective. You'll be surprised on what goes on in the world. But the trees know all the secrets. Some of you guys get yourselves involved in promiscuous relationships. You could be the organizer when it comes to the rise of civilization. You could be the one that gets things into order, or, you know, just take it how it resonates. But I feel like you guys are going to attract a non-possessive individual within your love life. You could have a faith that's based on magic. You can identify as an adult female or an older woman. Some of you guys could be a writer, or when it comes to your communication, writing would be really, really good for you. When it came to your astral experiences, you may have experienced near-death experiences in your past lives and in your present lives, whether it was car accidents or whatever it may be for you. Some of you guys should journal, whether it's about how you feel or whether it's about coming into, like, tapping in with your subconscious. I remember when I found myself writing, it helped me, like, really on a broader scale tap into, like, my brain or the subconscious or whatever the case may be. Some of you guys are healers. That's probably why you had this dream of being a doctor or a part of things that tie to humanitarianism. Maybe you were a doctor in your past life, or you're in the medical industry. Patience, balance, acceptance, resolution, and moderation is here, especially after some type of loss, ending, rebirth, change, or transformation. All right, tell me more about this message here. So a lot of you guys, this is tying to your love life, whether it's platonic, romantic, business. We talked about it, right? I'm seeing a loving exchange. This could be confirming past, present, and future energy. So some of you guys may have a love offer coming in, whether it's a past person or a new person. I feel like a lot of you guys learned a lot of lessons within love to the point to where you've accumulated karmic debt that you may be paying off or that you've already paid off. You could have dealt with very private individuals, but not in the good way. Like, you know how some people are mysterious and private? That's fine. But other people, very secretive, evasive. But not in a good way. Somebody could have had like a private phone call or 2 or 3. But don't allow these things to consume you. Don't allow your happiness, positivity, vitality, clarity, success to become hindered because of your experiences or the low vibrational people that you've encountered. See this as a lesson. See most things as blessings in disguise. You need some tending to. Maybe some dating advice. Maybe you just need to change your whole love life overall. Because some of y'all be settling. And if you're in Empress, Emperor energy, you don't need to be settling. Because I promise you, it's really more people out here than you think when it comes to being able to be qualified to connect with you, right? So I am seeing a new partner. You are in sync and in alignment with someone who can actually create like companionship or have mutual feelings. It's not going to be unrequited love. It's not going to be an illusion. I also feel like it's going to be a person who's spiritually gifted, like we all are, right? But somebody who's really aware. Cancerian energy could be very significant. This may be someone who you really match, right? I feel like you're planning and executing because you gain mental clarity, especially when it comes to your love life or life overall. You're releasing fear and anxiety. You're hearing and trusting your intuition. Something is being illuminated, unveiled. Maybe it has something to do with the poor choices you've made. Maybe you're just, like I said, learning the lessons. I feel like you could have made poor choices in your life, being overcommitted, dropping the ball. A lot of things may have caused you to become scattered, overwhelmed, or disorganized, but this energy won't last for long. Pisces energy is significant. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. The planet Jupiter, which ties to expansion and prosperity. The planet Mars, which ties to action and energy. The moon, which ties to feelings, emotions, could be very significant. Yep. Some of you guys could have experienced, the Four of Cups is here, and it talks about self-serving disinterest, right? Some of you guys are missing out on certain opportunities, or maybe you've missed out on certain opportunities. Maybe in the past or the present, you were bored, dissatisfied, unmotivated, depressed, reluctant, or dealing with reluctant energies. Very weary, W-E-A-R-Y. But as I said earlier, I feel like you're coming into a space of mental clarity. So these could have been already things that has happened, and now you're coming into a new beginning where you've been there, done that, bumped your head, learned, had to go through karmic debt, but learned lessons. And now you're in a new, like you've catapulted into a new timeline. The planet Mercury, which ties to communication, inspiration, mentality, could be very significant. The planet Saturn, which ties to karma, restriction, time, responsibility, discipline, could be significant. Domestic violence, trigger warning, suicide, could be very significant. Some of you guys had to break up with someone because you realized that they were not the emperor to your empress, and they were only causing you to become blocked, insecure. Your body was trying to tell you things that you probably weren't tending to, whether it was gift-wise, intuitively, or whether your body was, you were neglecting parts of yourself. You may have become in a dependent energy, which is probably why you're being encouraged to step into this divine masculine energy. Because in the divine feminine, you still have like a lot more work and harmony to restore, right, within self. So this is a time of nurturing yourself. This is a time of getting back creative, getting into the beauty and creation of everything. I could be talking to women who had abortions, thinking about one, or who've experienced miscarriage, infertility. Somebody may be feeling left out in the cold, rejected, alienated, being a part of harsh conditions. But I feel like this is all going to change because you've entered a period of time of renewal, awakening, self-realization, reflection, and choices. And I don't mean projected beliefs or outdated thinking, but choices that really align with your soul and who you are. That's probably why you're attracting a divine masculine, but for now, you're being encouraged to be that energy for yourself. You've experienced a lot of pain, a lot of sadness. You've been stabbed in the back. So I know some of you guys may be waiting around for this true soul connection, but the true connection is within self. Because then you can heal from being codependent. Then you can heal from all the heartbreak that you've experienced from friends, family, lovers. And you can unlock happiness, because happiness is not gonna... You get happiness from self-love. You get happiness from recovery. You become back happy by being in solitude. You know, getting yourself back together. You can't skip a step. That's the main step. Those who skip it will just be giving themselves more karma. But if you knew better, you would do better. But I feel like this is a collective that's knowing better and doing better, because they simply had to learn by experience. And they had to go through, you know, a lot of hardship, trials, tribulations, which brought forth wisdom. Thank you. So I feel like you guys are on this journey, right? Going maybe slow and steady, but at the same time, I'm seeing speed though. Maybe taking inspired action, maybe trusting in yourself instead of going based off conscious reasoning or logic all the time. You're balancing out spirituality and practicality for a lot of you guys. You're probably working on stressing less, or you're being encouraged to. Maybe some of you guys should get into some affirmations. Self-awareness. I feel like you're a very hardworking, responsible, at times stubborn individual, but you're very loyal. You could be very patient. You can also be connected to nature. Horses could be very significant, or primordial times could be very significant. Thank you. More messages for the collective, please. Angel number 55133 could be very significant. It says, my friendships support me, nourish me, and inspire me. This could be an affirmation that you could really do great justice with. You just say it to yourself. You can say it in the mirror. Okay, or this could just be confirmation. Connected. There is no such thing as a mistake. Everything happens in divine order. I am being guided to learn and grow. Confirmation can also be an affirmation, you could say. It's pretty long, so maybe narrow it down. If you can't stay for the full message, or if you didn't see the beginning of this message, it will be uploaded to my YouTube. It says, I honor my self-worth by asking for what I want. A lot of you guys can already be in this energy, or you're being encouraged to step into it. So like I said, you can say these as affirmations. Okay? I said in the beginning that a lot of y'all, you're not letting nobody interfere with your life, your journey. You have a lot of self-worth, or you know your value. All right, it says, Taking care of myself is a radical act of love. Self-love is the best love. And on the back of the deck, it says, my happiness is a direct reflection of how quickly I can shift my perceptions from fear to love. Last but not least, instead of taking on the fear of others, I reflect love. Don't allow anyone to project on you because it can happen. Some of you guys need to do different forms of self-care. Yeah, some of y'all could have most definitely been overcommitted to some type of connection. Maybe you thought you had some type of soul contract, but all of those are beliefs. Beliefs are really very strong opinions that you really don't know is factual, or you don't really know is true because you don't have facts that it is. Just something you believe in. So for those of you who believe in, oh, I have a soul contract with this person, they're my twin flame, a lot of this may cause some type of fear or restriction or alienation, right? So I prefer for you to take on your own knowing instead of other people's beliefs, because they may just not be yours. This keeps you trapped, confined, maybe stagnant, in regret, avoidance, blocked. If you believe in the twin flames and all of this other stuff, then you create your reality based on your beliefs, which is why some of you guys overstay your welcome in people's lives. I used to be a firm believer in the twin flame journey, etc. But once you start dibbling and dabbling into different things, but you're this being that's multifaceted, you have a refined intellect, you're very gifted. Sometimes you outgrow things, continue to evolve. And you also learn by experience. You also realize, just like religion, people, the human beings on this plane, they just create what they want to create. A lot of things were created by human beings, and a lot of these people are not in high honor. A lot of these people are not as qualified as you are. Yet we hear something and we follow behind it. We hear something and we trust and believe in it with all our faith. But as I said before, you're being encouraged to stay strong. Don't forget who you are, because you are a star, and you're being encouraged to act like it. Not everybody deserves to be around you or are meant to be around you. You can be for any and everybody because of who you are within, but that doesn't mean allow everybody to have access to you. Some people have their own karma to pay off, and we don't need any of their contagious energy blocking or hindering you in your own path. I was once going to stay connected with a person, and this was like a connection that was based on like the devil energy. We will most definitely get the devil card in the tarot deck, which can tie to materialism, restriction, addiction, fear, egotism, cheating, sexuality, needing to do shadow work, obsessions, a lot of low vibrational stuff. But I'm just listening to everybody. But I had to become a tarot reader myself. I had to come into spirituality myself. I had to do a lot of things myself to coming to where I am now. That's why I don't restrict people from doing anything, and I just let people do them, because I speak off of experience. And I'm only 23. Well, I turned 24 in like 8 days, but you belong with someone who's in divine masculine energy and divine feminine energy. You don't deserve to wait around for people to get their act together, because 9 times out of 10, they will not do so. See, I was already in high honor energy, having integrity, etc. I went through the same challenges as everybody else. Yet, you still have people who take your kindness for weakness, who don't appreciate or respect you. When out of anybody, you should be the main one to be respected, heard, seen, and loved, right? Yet with who you are within, you still show this love and light energy until you realize that there can be no light without darkness. Therefore, you integrate your shadow, you do the healing work, or you realize the things you need to work on. You love yourself even more and your flaws, if any. You go through the experience of life, but you still have a whole full journey to go. But don't forget, you are in the driver's seat. You are the magician. You are also the creator. God is within and all around. You've been misled, you've been misguided, you've been lied to. Whether it comes to beliefs, whether it's people telling you that they love you, that they have your best interests at heart. That's why I say you know best. So when it comes to, some of you guys are the true knights, or you're about to have like a true knight come in who's truly a divine masculine or feminine. And you guys are going to be a power couple. But first, certain things have to happen. Thank you so much. So don't be obsessive over this. It will come in divine timing. The best thing that you could do is work on yourself and love yourself. Like being okay with not having friends, or the welcome to the team, honey, or not having the lovers, because I'm telling you, it's time that things kind of slow down, but things are speeding, right? But for you personally, just slow down a bit, reflect. Who do you have in your life that does not need to be there? Family, friends, and lover-wise, business-wise. Don't create a life that you are not meant to live, because although fate and destiny may be a thing, I don't know, you have free will. Don't allow external influences, beliefs, outdated thinking to interfere with your life's path. You create your reality based on what you believe in. So if you're religious, you'll live a life based on that. If you're spiritual, you'll live a life based on that. But be mindful, there are no rules. You create your own rules. When it comes to spirituality, it's not organized like religion. It's not, you create, right? But do you ever find yourself to start not really creating, but just going based off of what everybody else is saying and doing? When I got into spirituality, I thought there was rules and, oh, how do I do this? What do I research? That's why I met a lot of people who were gaslighting, or not gaslighting, but gatekeeping, because it wasn't about what everybody else knew or believed in, but what I knew or felt with my own inner compass. We're all different, and it's for a reason. What's the message here for the collective? See, sometimes you feel lost, but if you just connect to who you are and your intuition, you'll realize that it was only temptation. You'll realize that it wasn't as difficult of a choice. It wasn't as... You weren't as lost as you thought. It's just you were putting yourself in that place because maybe your own beliefs or thoughts or whatever it may be. A lot of things are not as difficult as you may make it, as hard as it may seem. I told you we give ourselves karma. So live the life that you deserve and that you always dreamt of. You don't really truly know if the things that you believe in are true and that the things that other people were telling you were true. Whether it's about, oh, you got a soul contract, oh, you keep coming to earth because you don't learn a lesson, oh, that's a twin flame. Who says that that is true? That's why people have a lot of karmic debt, because they listening to each other. Thank you so much. You got to listen to yourself. You always grew up in a world listening to everybody else. This is a time to listen to yourself. There's drastic change happening. I'm seeing the word eccentric. Uranus could be a very significant planet, which ties to rebelliousness and revolution. See, you're not following behind everybody, or you weren't made to follow behind everybody. So dibble and dabble, experience, live and learn. But don't take things personal and don't attach yourself to outside or external influences or beliefs, right? Trust in your knowing, trust in yourself. And if you believe that there is a universe that's guiding you, that there's invisible forces that are working with you, trust that. You choose what you believe in. You have free will. If you're going to believe in anything, let it be positive. Don't let it strike fear or restriction or anything like that, which half of the things you believe in does. But yeah, that was the lesson that I learned on the spiritual journey, that it wasn't about what everybody else already started believing in or what they created for you to believe in, but it's about what you know. Even when you feel lost, there is always a way through the labyrinth. Always. Gotta trust in your inner knowing, inner compass, your gifts. Because although people can lie to you, cheat, steal, do all these things, although you can become tempted and all these other things and get steered in the wrong direction or wrong path, the answers are always like within and placed right in front of you. It's just about realizing things. But I feel like you're completing a major cycle in your life. You're accomplishing a lot of things. You're becoming whole again, and this is going to bring in fulfillment. Angel number 10 is very significant. You know what you're talking about. A lot of things you don't need to experience to find out. A lot of things you don't need proof on. A lot of things you don't need people to teach you things or tell you things. That's the point of individuality and self-discovery. You most definitely don't need people around you who are not serving you in your highest good. The friends, the whoever. If they don't align, realign, reconsider, reevaluate, revitalize. Every word there is, okay? Some of you guys at times, you doubt yourself or things or situations. That's why you have to work on getting back into trusting yourself. But your experiences will lead you to where you need to be. Just gotta have faith and learn the lessons. But you have support, but you're also being encouraged to build a strong support team. Like build a strong foundation. Lasting connections. Because you wonder why your connections didn't last. That's because you were building with temporary people. And you knew better. But maybe you ignored the signs, or you're getting rid of upheaval and leaving the drama behind. For some of you guys, you may still be connected to this. But I'm telling you, if you're not in calmer waters, it's simply because you're holding yourself back from it. Who's around? What are you doing? What's keeping this from happening? Sometimes you gotta ask yourself questions. Sometimes you think other people have the answers, Google, but I promise you, you have the answers. All right, choose wisely. When it comes to your beliefs, when it comes to the people that you keep around you, when it comes to what you do, choose wisely. Sometimes it's okay to wait and consider, consider things. And it's also important to trust yourself. I don't believe in compromising. What you want, you will get. You have to just know that as a fact. Because beliefs are really, really strong. Some of you guys have been out of touch for a while. Maybe you've been at a distance, right? From yourself. Maybe you've entered a period of loss or being fragmented, or parts of your identity, or whatever the case may be. But I feel like this was just breaking down aspects of you that did not serve you, so you can come into who you're truly meant to be, so that the parts of yourself who you thought you were weren't going to hold you back from who you were potentially encouraged to become or meant to become. So these were just challenges that create space between you. I'm seeing something about the long haul. Yep. But you're taking that leap forward, and I feel like everything is going to work out in your favor. It's really just about, it's a mind thing. It's a spiritual thing. So leave behind everything that does not serve you. Thank you so much for the gifts. I appreciate you. All right, it's time to let go. It's time to move on. It's time to heal. Some of you guys are already letting go and moving on, and all that's left is just to heal. And you'll truly come into the life that you were meant to learn. Sometimes you just gotta surrender to what you truly know within. Sometimes things try to confuse you. You're like, am I doing the right thing? Sometimes it gets lonely, but they do say it gets lonely at the top, honey. See, the world has made things so normal to believe. Like, that's probably why anxiety and a lot of things are intact. People feeling disappointed, depressed, uninspired. See, this is your world. Everybody else is just living in it. So why follow behind people who are human beings like you, right? But you're not just any human being. But you got people trying to overrule the earth, the country, this, that. Buy this. This is my land. We're the government. Like, as if you're not in high energy, unlike these people, as if you're not more qualified than these individuals with your high spiritual ranking. You better get it together, honey. You better wake up to what's going on and decide that you want better and different. There's a soul tribe for sure. But what is it going to take for you to obtain the life that you want to live? Sometimes you got to step into your power. Sometimes you got to take the initiative and be the leader and not the follower. Sometimes you got to get back in tune with your heart space. Sometimes you got to trust in yourself. But that's pretty much what I'm seeing for this collective. I'll probably be back on later. If you enjoyed this message, don't forget to follow me or subscribe to my other platforms. Link in bio. If you want to get on the list before I get off of here, just let me know in the chat. But it's time. It is time. Balance out your chakras. Some of you guys are light workers, star seeds. Some of you guys may have even been here before if you believe in that type of thing. But you're breaking generational curses so that the ones that come before you, after you, whatever you want to, however you want to put it, so they don't have to. Some of you guys are, what is that term that they say about the lineage? You're restoring or balancing. Is something huge here. Ashe, Ashe, God. Mr. Hazik. All right, before I get off, let's get some angel answers. You may get a yes, you may get a no, you may get a maybe. You may get a time frame. Don't stop. Before you give up, reconsider. Before you think about this, think about that. Okay? You're not a quitter. You don't give up. Right at the peak when you about ready to give up is when everything starts happening sometimes. It's time to start dreaming again. I'm seeing fantasy options and temptation. See, some of you guys, your soul is tempted to step outside of its comfort zone, but maybe you're holding it back because of other temptations that really don't serve you or your highest good. All right, a year from now, you will see a huge difference. We got ask for help from others. This could be talking to your spiritual team, asking them to help you. Maybe you guys can actually connect with people on this 3D plane, maybe through social media. Maybe you have someone that's closer to you than that, but not everybody has support. So that's why I'm like, for those of you who do, then, ask for help from others. Or even if you feel like these people are not supportive, God puts people in your life to benefit you, especially if you're an earth angel, good person. So why not use your resources to help benefit you when all you do is heal, show compassion, and the list goes on, right? So let people help you. People you know, people you don't know, let people help. Spiritually, whatever it may be. Any last messages? You're being encouraged to let go. Mindsets, people, situations, places, let go. Because I promise you there's better. There is better. An opportunity is here. An opportunity of growth, an opportunity for change, an opportunity for wealth. If you've been looking for an answer, for some of you guys, I'm getting a strong no. And for you to get more information. Now, this only will apply to a small amount of you, because for others of you, it could be yes. Thank you so much for the gifts. All right, look for a sign and be mindful, just because we're going to give an example. If you're currently pregnant and you don't know if you should keep a baby or get an abortion because you grew up religious and you were taught that, oh, babies are a gift from God, and and say you become spiritual, so you're kind of confused because you haven't deprogrammed to reprogram, and you're probably in this energy of imbalance. So you're probably seeking outside validation to help you make your choices in your life. Don't do that. Who's to say that you will burn in hell for cutting people off, for being alone, for getting abortions, for having kids, whatever it may be? Who's to say yes or no when it comes to your life? You are the creator of your life. What makes sense to you may not make sense to everybody else. You have to do what's best for you in this life, and you have to do what makes you happy. That's true freedom and liberation. Some of you guys just need to meditate. So the point that I was making, we stress ourselves out because of the way we grew up, the beliefs we have, etc. So you need to come into a space where mentally, emotionally, spiritually, etc., you're in alignment. Therefore, you will trust yourself. And no matter what everybody outside of you is saying or agreeing with, there's a lot of people who agree, who disagree, who this, who that. I don't do debates. I don't do arguments. A lot of things are uncalled for, unnecessary. And when you know this, you will soon attract a life like it. The world is a reflection on the inside. I was supposed to be making some type of point. I don't know if I fully made it because I can't recall what I mentioned, but don't look for a sign. Sometimes you think, oh, well, if I see a bunch of baby bugs and bassinets, then that's a sign for me to have a kid. Or if I see a bunch of people walking around with their newborns, that's a sign for me to have a kid. Even though I don't want a kid by this person because I feel like they trapped me, or I feel like this is destroying my lineage or legacy, or whatever the case may be. I feel like this is me not breaking a generational curse. Because if you pay attention, there's people who believe in God, there's people who don't, there's people who's religious, there's people who's spiritual, there's people who are free-spirited, there's people who follow behind what was once already taught to the world or created. You just gotta do you at the end of the day. Everybody has their own opinions. The world is quite opinionated, sadly, instead of very, there's no unity. That's why they say self-love is the best love. Unity with self is really important, because then you won't need the community. It's good to have, but not when there's disharmony. We are fancy of love, harmony, and divine connections, not the opposite. So here you are, having to heal from your mother or father because they didn't break the generational curses, and yet you have free will to break the generational curses or not. So are you going to listen to outdated thinking, old beliefs or beliefs from others, projected energy? Or are you going to tune into yourself and realize, this is my life. What do I want to do? What do I feel is best? There may be chaos, there may be change, but revelation, freedom, and awakenings are here. Maybe something scary, right? But strength starts when one has fears, but they continue to push forward. Strength is not when you don't have any fear, and no, it's when you do have the fear, but you continue to be courageous. You continue to just do it, right? You do it scared, you do it alone, because you trust yourself and you trust your path. And I promise you, All you need is what they said, faith of a mustard seed. Some of these things people say are very true, but not everything is true. That's why I say you just take what resonates for your life, especially if you're listening to what the hell everybody else is saying, which I don't recommend, because it's your life. It's not everybody else's life. Yet everyone has so much to say. Oh, if you're not religious, you're going to hell. Oh, if you're spiritual, you're this. Oh, da da da. Sometimes you just gotta tune out the noise, because although you can be misguided, misled, and lied to, it's all up to you. Regardless, you are the one with the free will, and you make your choices. So either you're gonna fall for what everybody else is saying and doing, or you're gonna rebel and go against societal norms and live the life that you are always meant to live. This is not everybody else's journey. It's yours. What's right to you may not be right to another person. What's wrong to them may not be, but none of that matters. We care too much about what people think and what they say when they don't know shit. Nobody truly knows the damn truth, for real. That's why it's called a belief. That's why you have to go based on your knowing, because your knowing is the truth. Your intuition is the truth. It's the clarity. It's the guidance. You listening to a bunch of people who created the rules that they don't even abide by. Why do we have rules? You're your own person. You're an adult. Why do you have to live the way somebody else wants you to? Who are they? It never made sense. But you don't ask questions as a kid. You're naive, you're gullible. That's why they try to get you when you're young. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. May all that you send out come right back to you tenfold. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much. But yeah, you guys, I'm not going to keep you long. If you missed the beginning of this message, it will be uploaded to YouTube. I'm a firm believer in not projecting on other people. So if I didn't say anything that resonates with you, by all means, don't take it. All right? But it's time. It's time. And I wish you the best. If you have any bad relationships, domestic issues, insecurities, manipulation, deceit, illusions, all these things, right? Delays, disruption, bad luck, fear. Something needs to be changed. Something needs to happen. But I feel like these things exist for a reason, so that you can change them. You don't have to live in this energy. Just because depression exists doesn't mean you have to become depressed or remain in that energy. Just because bad people exist doesn't mean that you have to co-create with them. They don't have to exist. It's really, I'm telling you, what you believe in. Beliefs are very, very powerful. Okay? So as I said, if you're not going to trust in your knowing and you're going to go based off of beliefs, at least believe in things that don't restrict you, alienate you, or strike fear. Yes, that's what's going on. A lot of programming, a lot of projection, because they want you to live how they want you to live. They're playing God when they are not close to having godly energy. Like you. You're supposed to be the one that's leading and teaching. But that's the thing about free will. Especially if people allow it. You got a whole thank you so much. You have a whole world of people who are following behind each other. The blind leading the blind. And then there's you. So you came across this live for a reason. And when it ends, don't go back. See, growing up young, and especially in the USA or whatever the case may be, you were already programmed. Sometimes you will hear a message and just continue to scroll. Hear a message, receive it, and go back to doing the same thing. Let this be change, because I promise you, nobody has ever done this before. Or maybe they have and you just never met them because they understood the assignment. Okay? But yeah, God is within you and all around. You are the creator. Don't forget that. I wish you all the best. I return your energy back to you, and I release my energy back to me. Take care, and thank you so much for the gifts. I do appreciate that. Thank you for double tapping the screen. There go the 5 again. 555. Change. Do things that you never done before. You grew up surrounded by family, friends, school, community, right? But unhealthy community, unsupportive society. Now it's time to do differently, because you can receive divine connections, divine love. You just have to connect with the divine guidance, okay? A lot of people outside of you do not have that. You see how people grow up and you can go through the same exact things as people and they can still turn out to be heartless beings while you're still having an ethereal soul. Yet these are your pastors, these are your preachers, these are your doctors. That don't make no sense. That's why I said some of you guys are healers, true doctors. But you may not be in the medical field. For some of you guys, maybe you are. Some of you guys may be true prophets, but you're not using that voice. Or maybe you are. You're very, very different. It's a lot of people that are imposters. The ancestors tried to tell you. The information is all of a sudden lost. Yeah, you know, dibble and dabble. Medical field, law, the arts. Dibble and dabble till you truly connect with where you're meant to be. Some of you guys are jack of all trades. You can do many things, you know. That's the point of life. Don't settle and do what the hell you want to do. But I'll see you guys in the next live. Make sure you eat and drink a lot of water, spring water, alkaline, the good stuff. Slowly but surely get off of these processed foods and these things that are not good for you. Break the generational curses. Change your life for the better. Ashe, take care.